Relax, the press box is closed, but the mic is just getting warmed up. Welcome to the Hockey Writers Inc. Join your host, Ron, as we talk all things Philadelphia Flyers and Lehigh Valley fandom. Relax, the press box is closed, but the mic is just getting warmed up. Welcome to the Hockey Writers Inc. Join your host, Ron, as we talk all things Philadelphia Flyers and Lehigh Valley fandom. Relax. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the next episode of the Hockey Writers Inc. with your very, very special guest host, Mr. Russ Cohen. How are you, sir?
Good, Ron. How are you?
I am doing great. Although, I gotta tell you, the last couple of Flyers games could have been better, but the last couple of Phantom games have been really good.
You got a mix. You got a mix.
Right. So I'm kind of 50-50, right? So, but, I mean, how was your Halloween?
It was great. Yep. Always a
Okay.
lot of fun. I don't dress up. That's the way
Okay.
it is.
Okay. Good deal. Good deal. All right. It's not, yeah, it's just not a lot of people around where we live, and it's just,
Yeah, it's the
we
same
don't,
thing here. It's like I'm not against it. It's just I
yep.
just don't
Okay.
do much.
All right. But man, I'll tell you what, there has been some fireworks there, for sure at the Xfinity Mobile Arena,
Hmm.
the last couple of games for sure with the Toronto, uh, Maple Leafs coming in, and then subsequently, another Canadian team, the Calgary Flames, come in. Two games
Hmm.
in a row, you know what I mean? And two, one game I thought, okay, it's Toronto, it's Matthews, but
No Nylander though, so it was a little lesser than it
right,
would be normally.
right. And the Flyers know the goaltender,
Yep. No
with
Ersan, no
right.
Couturier the first one for
Right, and
against the Leafs.
that's the other thing. That's the other thing I was going to say too, as well, is that Couturier really was only missed that one game. I mean,
Yeah.
I actually saw what happened to him, that the puck like hit him on the funny bone kind of thing, and it was like,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
okay, yeah, I can only just imagine the pain that you would feel
Yeah. I
with
don't know
that.
why
But
they ever named it Funny Bone. It's really not funny.
right, exactly. If you ever get hit there, by the way, that's clearly not funny. But by the way, if you like what we do, please hit the like and subscribe. We'd really, really appreciate that, man, for sure, for sure. Okay, so the Toronto game, were you kind of expecting it to kind of go that way? I mean, I thought they played pretty okay. I mean,
I
with
was expecting
considering,
it. I was expecting it to kind of go that way. I wanted to see um, how the Flyers would match up against Toronto's defense because Toronto's defense, I think, has taken a slight step back from what it was last year. At least
yeah,
at this time, it may get better, and it didn't prove me wrong. So it was one of those games where, again, you were dealing with Matvey Michkov and limited minutes,
that's true. Again,
and and I just still don't understand. Like, I get that the coach Rick Tocchet wants him to play a better all-around game, and there's something to be said about that. But at some point, I feel like you have to let the player play, or you're just not going to get what you want to get out of them. Now, I know they're going to play the long game with him, which is fine. But in the end, it's like, this is there's a reason sometimes guys go into sophomore slumps, and I didn't really think Michkov would have that, but this is kind of like the roadway to a sophomore slump
it is.
and a pathway to it. Now, it doesn't mean that he won't be a better player for it after, and we hear all that, and some of that is true a lot of times. But there is a point too at times where you get a player and it's like, is he really going to get better at defense? Like did Artemi Panarin ever really get better at defense? No.
No.
I mean, so it's like at some point, when do you give up that fight as a coach? And I feel like I think that point should have happened already.
Okay, I see what you're saying now. I get what you're saying because he's probably just not gonna be that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't seem like it's in him. He is more focused, concentrated on putting the puck in the back of the net and
Yeah.
creating ways and means to do so. And with limiting his minutes and not giving him quite as much time, and like you say, I think that is a pathway to a sophomore slump. But some of that is also that, you know, the the news is out on him too. The league has caught up and that,
Yeah.
he's not surprising anybody anymore now. And I'm actually seeing teams now are starting to pay much more attention to him and make sure that he's off the play or taken out of the play whenever he's out on the ice.
Sure.
So when he is out there in his limited time, he's getting taken out.
Yeah. Like in that Toronto game, just to show you how limited it was only 10 minutes of even strength time
Wow.
because
Wow.
it was 15:52 and 5:52 of it was power play in that game.
Holy moly. I
And
mean,
the same went for the Flames game. It's like I think he was 13 and change, but then they played 6-on-4. So of course he's out there for the whole 6-on-4. And it's like, yeah, but like he kind of is out of the rhythm by the time you put him into the 6-on-4. And that's why I feel there's like this mistake that's happening with him. But again, when they were winning games, no big deal. When they're not winning games, then it becomes more noticeable.
exactly. And especially when you take a Couturier out of the lineup. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though he only missed one game, that's great. But now you're looking at Tyson Forster now got put on the IR. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
and I think it's going to be a little while. It's longer than I think the team's willing to admit. So,
and
you know,
that doesn't really bode well neither. But that also opens up a spot. But there and again,
but you need him because now
yeah,
essentially it broke up their best line. Like it was their number one line, whether they wanted to admit that or not. So then they tried to put Owen Tippett on it, and he was invisible.
yeah, yes, he was. Yes, he was. Because you did not see him at all in the Calgary game.
No,
Like didn't even mention his name hardly at all in
no.
that Calgary game at all. So
And,
and
and we're getting to a critical point with Owen Tippett because, like, he has the 5 goals. He only has 1 assist. He's a minus player on a team where not a lot of minuses exist. And I'm going to liken this. I'm going to speak into a language that you'll understand. Um, so a lot of times when a new coach takes over, like in football, and teams wonder how come like the Jets would trade James Farrier. I guess you know that name.
yes, I do.
And he got traded instantly when Bill Parcells took over. Why? Parcells is like, listen, he's a 3-4 guy. We're playing a 4-3. So like that's it. And he's gone.
Yep.
And they shipped him out to Pittsburgh and
Yep.
he was terrific in Pittsburgh. He was terrific in New York too, by the way, but he was just as good in Pittsburgh. So
He was just at Acrisure Stadium for alumni weekend for Super Bowl XL.
yeah, that hurts. Anyhow, so but thanks for rubbing that in. Point
So
is, I feel like this is what's going on with Owen Tippett now because
yeah.
they don't know where to put him.
Yeah. He's
So they
he's
tried to put him on that line as the replacement for now for Forster, and they play completely different games.
okay, so where would you put Tippett? I mean,
Right, right now, I would have Michkov playing on that second line in that spot, and I would put Brink on the other side, and I would have Tippett on the third line
okay, so you would have Mitch
because he's
Koff with
not getting any
Brink.
assists anyhow. So if he's going to get goals, he's going to get goals anyhow.
Yeah.
But it's not like he's creating anything.
Oh, right. Yeah, okay, I'm with you. So you would put Mitch Koff with Brink,
Yep,
and
and
you
Kate.
would okay, so you put Cates there as the center, right?
Yep,
Okay, and then the next line you would have.
Well, that's the number two. You'd still have the same top line.
Okay, okay. But that's kind of what I was getting at. That's what I was trying to get at is maybe you need to move Mitch Koff up and make some adjustments now that you're gonna have the Tyson Forster is gonna be out for a while.
Well, yes, the game against Calgary would have been that game, but they didn't do it.
They did not do it, and that's kind of why I
They
was
put
like,
Rodrigo Abels up there.
who actually had a pretty good game. I mean, I thought he played
Yeah,
really
but I mean, come on, like
right.
this is the guy who's your future. And I just feel like now it's again a situation where he has to learn this hard lesson
Why?
because
What?
that's
What?
what because that's what the coach wants. And I'm saying the league, gets there's a reason for it in the league to a degree. But I feel like he got that hard lesson with Torts. It didn't work out great. And then when Torts was gone, it worked out great. And I'm feeling like he's getting a similar lesson now, and it's not working out great. And I think, we know Rick Tockett's there to stay. So then the other part of this equation is at some point, ease up on him. Because I will tell you this, I saw Travis Konechny fly the zone in one play last night because, his offense has suffered a little. He finally did score, but this is before he scored on a set play, which, by the way, is maybe the only second time I've seen a set play work for them the entire season. But Travis Konechny flew the zone and there was no repercussions. Like there was nothing.
Yeah. Wow.
So,
Hey. Well, okay. Let's dabble just slightly into the power play area because the latest I've seen now is them ranked 19th
yeah,
in the league in power play, and that's where they need to maintain. And I think you and I both agreed, and we've spoken this on many shows that we think that the second line is actually the true power play line,
power
and
play. Yeah,
yeah, and I really like how what Zegras has done to that and how he's added to that. So
he has.
uh, 19th. I mean, hey, and now we
It's
had
better.
Navarre.
It is better, but is it still producing even close to enough? No. I mean, even
Oh,
Trevor Zegers, who looks terrific at times is shooting the exact same shot every time, no variation on it,
yep,
nothing, and it's hard to score that way in this league. But I will also tell you an issue with Trevor Zegers that is starting to crop up. Like if he's not having these multi-point games, he has to do other things in the game, right? Everybody else has to do something else in the game to kind of help the team, the whole effort, because you're not always having the puck.
yep,
And
yep.
I
You
noticed a
got him.
lot of plays where he has the puck, he's engaged, he makes a great play, he shoots, and then getting the puck back, hard to
Not so
do. Seems
engaged.
hard to
Yeah,
do.
yeah. Well, that's kind of that could be the reason why he was traded.
Yeah, I think that's one of them. I think it's fair to say that. And I think it's one of these things where it's kind of like, okay, that has to be acknowledged. Like that is something
Yeah,
where it's like,
yeah.
like
Just like you have
he's
to
got to work
acknowledge
on
the
that.
fact, just like you have to acknowledge the fact that okay, Mitch Koff is not going to be that guy that's going to be in the defensive situations, right? But let's face it, he needs to be playing more than 7 or 8 or 10 minutes a game.
Well, he's playing
Okay,
13 and a half. That's what he's about playing
okay, but
on
is
average.
that doesn't seem to be impactful enough, and or where he's being played, fourth
Right.
line, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. So
Yeah.
we missed Couturier for that one game against Toronto. I really thought that Flyers were gonna play a little bit better against Calgary because Calgary was on a back to back as well, and Calgary had to travel. Do you know what I mean? So I thought that it
Well,
was
luckily
gonna.
they traveled earlier though, because like their equipment was there before the game ended against Toronto because they had a day game. So they did manage to get to Philly earlier than a normal week.
Okay, okay,
So, but again, Philly didn't have to go anywhere. They just had to play back to back. and their effort was definitely not there for a while. Um, Now, Mackenzie Weegar said, "Hey, this is the way we want to play, boring hockey," and Dustin Wolf echoed that. So that doesn't mean you should, as the Flyers, let them lull you to sleep. You should be doing
You
the opposite.
know, you know.
Like that's my problem with that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, yes, that is what they wanted to play. And until midway in the third period, you let them play their game in your
Yep.
building.
Yep. Pretty much. Yep.
So
All the way.
that's, that was the issue with that. And the coach didn't love it. Um, that's obvious. But we're now at a point where uh, they had this extended homestand. They did pretty well. I mean, the road record so far is bad.
Yep.
And now they're going to head back out on the road to Montreal, who's one of the
Yep.
hottest teams in the league at the moment.
Yep.
And so, like, you're at a point now in this season where you're without Forster, who is one of your better two-way players too. And they are going to bring up Emil Andre. I don't know if they're going to play him. I think they should, but who knows?
Right.
We don't
Right.
know. They're not even using Abels in
No.
face-off situations where he's really good. They're kind of, letting Gaucher find his way on that. And I don't know if that's the right thing, to be honest. I might
Right.
mix that up, but they probably just like his speed better. So they're going to leave that. And so it's kind of like, right now, other than the top line because of injury and whatever, they're kind of like mixing and matching again. And to be honest, I don't think that helps Matvey Michkov. I think he needs consistent line mates, and they've not found a line for him yet, which is crazy to me because I don't know, Ron, I'm going to give you a pop quiz. How many goals does he have?
Two, three,
One.
one. He has one goal officially.
What do you mean officially? Like, what else is there? Let's
Well,
see. I'm pretty sure it's one. I'm going to
I
double
thought
check
it
this.
was two. I thought it was two.
Let's see.
It
Nope,
ain't
one.
that. Oh,
Nope.
okay.
Just one. NHL.com. He's got one with 5 assists
Okay.
in
And I
12
know
games.
he's got some shootout goals.
Yeah, but those aren't real
Those
goals.
don't count, right? Okay.
They count towards, the team and the wins. But yes, that's what you're thinking of. But he's got one.
That
If
is
you told
ridiculous.
me
That's
at the start of
ridiculous.
the season he would have one goal 12 games in, I would be like, Ron, what are you
Right?
kidding? Who are you
Nope.
kidding? You're
Nope.
you're way off base here.
And here we are.
And here
And
we are.
yet the Flyers are 6-5. Russ, this is the
Because of better goaltending, that's a reason.
well, okay, yeah. I mean, Dan Vladar with that 938 save percentage got chased.
Yes,
I'm
he did.
glad I'm glad that Talk pulled him when he did to
Yes.
say to save his kind of bacon.
Yeah,
And
because that
we
wasn't really one of those games where he was making a lot of mistakes. He wasn't. But the problem
right,
was he just wasn't making any incredible saves either. So it was kind of like, all right, let's just preserve him.
right. And so we got to see
Oh,
Alex come in and play, right? And so
yeah. Yeah, and he played okay that game. He played better the next game, except the goal he flinched on, which I didn't love.
right, right.
What I think that
Okay.
was the second Huberto goal.
Yes.
So yeah, didn't love that. We'll
Yeah.
never love that because
No, and
again,
that's one he's going to want back.
right. The interesting thing is if I asked you who plays bigger, him or Dustin Wolf, who would you say?
I would say Dustin Wolf.
But he's shorter in reality.
I know
And Kolosov sometimes takes away his height in net, which I think is always a mistake.
because he's down lower.
Yeah.
Right. So, and I'm not a I'm more of a fan of, I guess you could say, the hybrid
Yeah.
type goalie where I don't like him going down so quick.
Yeah. You don't always have to be like doing the butterfly. You don't. And so, like, that's where a hybrid's good because it's like sometimes you do it, sometimes you don't. And we don't have to get into all the fancy goaltending talk, but especially when you're against the post. But I think it's just one of these situations where I do think it's better if you're a little more free form.
I'm with you. All right. And that could be playing into this as well too. So, Okay,
Well, Sam
so
Erson's injury is just to the point where, again, you're only 12 games into the season and he's already got an injury problem.
and we don't
And
know
he's
how
had them
long.
before. So,
So okay, and we don't know how long he's going to be.
no, it's really, I mean, they said it wasn't
There's
that bad, but again, we
no
don't know.
timetable. Okay.
No timetable.
Okay, well, there you go. And the next game coming up is going to be, the Canadians and
Yeah. Don't worry about that.
Ooh, that one's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
So, definitely going to be keeping an eye on that one for sure. Well, so that's kind of the bad. How about some of the good, right?
Hmm.
Let's cover some of the good. The Phantoms, man, they went to play the Hartford. Uh,
Well, don't forget they did get shut out before they played Hartford. Be fair.
I am. They did, but then they played two games against Hartford and did exactly the same thing in both games, 4-3
Yep.
overtime, and won those two games. Right.
Yep.
So third in the Atlantic, which
Hmm.
well, you and I both think that the Phantoms were going to be improved this year. We
Yep.
both felt that Snowden was doing a much different job than what
Yep.
LePerriere was doing, and we really liked the fact that the Phantoms are now playing the same system that Rick Tocchet has
Yep.
instituted with the Flyers, so that makes it a lot easier. And
The
all
only difference
right,
is they're getting a lot of veteran scoring. They're not getting enough from the prospects that they want to get the mileage out of. Like that has to improve. Kaplan's gone a little dry. Bump had the one good game, but overall he's still having trouble. He was a minus in a few of these games. And so, and Denver Barkey, he's taken a long road here to kind of get used to it. So I think they need improvement there, but they've been getting good goaltending. I mean, Kolosov, it wasn't his fault in the 3-0 loss, and Bjarnason's done well enough. And so, yeah, it's mostly good. The only thing I say is the only negative really is they're low on regulation wins. They only have 3, and that sometimes can bite you when you're fighting for different playoff spots. But you worry about that later in the year. But sometimes it does happen early in the year. So I just bring it up to kind of mark it. But I like the job that John Snowden's doing. I think the club is playing better. I think someone like Zayd Wisdom is really advancing, and then that's great.
so see,
And then
I got him written down here too, man, as my notes. Love Wisdom with 5 points. I mean,
yep,
he had a couple goals the other day, and I
yep,
mean,
yep, yep. No, he's doing well, and that was somebody who I saw coming on, last season, and now he's
yeah,
building on
yeah,
that. And I was happy they re-signed him because I
I
felt
am
like
too.
he earned
Yes,
that. And
agreed,
so at some
agreed.
point they may give him an ELC. I mean, I'd have to really seriously consider it because I think there's a future for him. Uh, I don't know how heavy. Like, I don't know if he's a guaranteed NHLer, but he definitely could be a depth NHLer. So we'll see. I mean, his game's going to good places. Uh, Defensively, they're pretty good. Helge Grans, when Andre's there, not there, has done a nice job, really
I
nice
really
job.
like him. I really like him. Yeah.
Yeah, and so it's like,
I really like what Anthony Richard's been doing,
yeah,
leading the team with
Richard.
seven
I don't
points.
know if
Yeah,
he's anything more than an NHL like fill in. I think that's kind of like what he is, but when he's there, he's really good.
yeah,
So that's fine.
I agree. I agree.
Again,
Okay.
Hunter McDonald was probably overhyped a bit, so now he's on the path that he was going to be on anyhow before the hype. So I think that's okay. So they're
So
in
what?
pretty good shape. They're in pretty good
Yeah,
shape.
and they added Christian Cairo.
Yeah, Christian
Um,
Cairo was a good ad. Uh, obviously Jordan's brother, really
yeah,
terrific skater, excellent on the power play. He is a right-handed shot, so when Andre's gone, they have him on the power play. That's good.
I'm
And
looking forward to that.
do I think he's anything more than that AHLer? I'm not sure,
Right.
but it doesn't matter because Tuamala wasn't going to do anything for them anyhow.
Right. Right.
He might do something in Dallas because they have a lot of Finnish players, and he might rise to the occasion there. Again, Dallas is no dummy. They're not just going to give up a player if they don't think there's something in the other player. If you go look at Dallas's record of trades and player development, it's pretty good. But I
Yeah,
think
they
both
don't.
teams did the right thing by these players. They needed a change.
And that's kind of what I was going to get at here. It seemed like it was one of those things where both players would benefit from the change of
Yes.
scenery, and I think that's going to be the case here, in both cases,
Yeah.
for both players.
The case in
The
both
change.
cases. Got it.
Yeah, you like that? All right. Hey, man, I didn't get a degree in English, so
All right.
and it shows.
I didn't either.
Well, there you go. And you clearly are the professional writer, and I clearly am snot. So,
That's fine. But no, I mean, it's Phantoms are in a good spot. Only a couple games this week. So if
yeah,
Bjarnason has to play both, it's okay because there's no real pressure to play anybody else really because of the schedule. So
right.
that's a positive because I'm pretty sure that Kolosov will be with the Flyers at least the next couple, and then we'll see where Urson's at. If we start
Yeah.
hearing murmurs about that. But yeah, I mean, it's a tale of two teams in the sense that I feel like there's more upside right now with the Phantoms for sure, and that's good because that's what you want.
Yeah.
I do want to see more out of the prospects. I do
Yeah.
wish more guys got a chance with the NHL club with the right minutes because again, a lot of times coaches say things like, "Yeah, we really like him. We're going to do this, do that," but then you look on the sheet and that tells
Where
a
is
different
he?
story.
Yeah, right. Where is he? Yeah, yeah.
Like Nikita Grabenkin, didn't get a lot of minutes last game.
No, no, he didn't. No, he did not.
So it's like one of those things where it's like, all right, well, these guys, it's good that they're getting NHL time, like for him, but are you going to get the most out of him this way? No. I mean, he's got 2 points in 8 games. He's got a boatload of penalty minutes, but that's fine. He's a -3. So it's like, again, like I feel like he's an okay player. I know some fans are like overly excited, I feel, about him, but it doesn't mean he can't play in the NHL, but it doesn't mean he's really been able to latch on with any role or line yet either. And I think that's something that they got to get into focus at some point.
I agree. I agree. And with the shuffling around of lines that's been happening, I that doesn't give me the warm fuzzies neither, Russ. You know what I mean? It
Yeah.
just look, we have our opinions about who we think should be where, and that's
Yeah.
just it. Those are our opinions, and
Yep.
you know, clearly, Rick Tockett and the team does not listen to the Hockey Writers Inc. or Russ Cohen or me for any.
I think they do listen to Locked On Flyers. I kid only because a lot of times things that we say do happen, but happen like a game later, 2 games
Right,
later. But no,
right,
of course they don't listen. They're too busy. They got stuff to do.
right. You guys should be checking out Rachel and Russ over there on Locked On Flyers, man. You got to hop on over there and check them guys
We
out
have people
because
from England now watching
yeah,
us.
yeah.
We made a couple cracks about the BBC and a show that's on the BBC, and somebody from England tweeted tonight. It was funny.
There you go. There you
The
go. You got to
Flyers
do.
fans are everywhere.
That's right. That's exactly right. And thank you to all you Flyers fans out there for following us, for liking us, for hitting the like and subscribe, man, and for joining us, man. We really do appreciate that. It helps to make us go, man. It's the reason why we do it. It's the reason why we're here. Big thanks to Russ. Really appreciate, man, you being on the show here.
You're welcome.
Love the insight. Love all the great information that you're able to provide, and you're a fount of information or a font of information.
Fountain's fine. I
Fountain.
appreciate
All
that.
right. All right. Okay. Fountain of information. But all you have to do is go to Google and type in Russ Cohen and find all the great stuff that he's involved with, from elite prospects to Locked On to SiriusXM Radio,
Sportsology.com,
Sportsology.com.
NHLDraftBuzz.com. I just put an article up about Jack Murtaugh on Sportsology.com.
By the way, got to go check that out, Flyers fans,
That was
man.
a
That's
long former. That was a bit of a long one.
Yep, but that's a great article though, man. That's a
Yeah,
great one.
thanks.
You got to go check that out, man. I really like reading reading your stuff, Russ. So, by the way, if you like reading Russ's stuff, go to amazon.com, type in Russ Cohen, and you'll see a list of books that you get to choose from.
Yep.
And do
If you
that.
want anything signed, just email me Message me,
And
DM me. I could sell you a book, and that's autographed easy.
there, see, there you go. There you go. Get an autographed copy signed from the great Russ Cohen. All right, all right. Thank you, Russ, very much for hopping on. Really appreciate it, sir. Yep.
Anytime, Ron.
You got it, sir. Thank you very much, folks out there, for joining us. Really appreciate all you guys coming on here. Really appreciate Lowercase Blues for providing the introductory music. Man, you guys got to hop on over to lowercaseblues.net. Check out the album. Check out the videos. They got some swag. They got some tour dates. If you're in the Delmarva area on the East Coast, you have got to check out Jake and the boys, man. They know how to throw down the great guitar licks like they did for the introductory music here, man. If you like some great blues music,